Hello students. So today we are going to start a new chapter, that is library classes in Java, lecture 1. So the content of this lesson are, we are going to learn about the library classes, the Java packages, the difference between primitive and composite data types, which was also discussed in previous chapters, and you are already familiar with all the primitive data types and also some of the composite data types. And then we will be discussing about the wrapper classes provided by Java. Out of all the 8 wrapper classes, the 2 wrapper classes which are in syllabus are your character wrapper class and integer wrapper class. So these two will be done in detail. In integer wrapper class, the 2 of the methods will be discussed, and in character wrapper class, there are around 8 methods which we will be discussing. Okay, and finally, auto boxing and unboxing. So these are all the concepts we are going to do in library classes of Java. Yeah. So let's start with the first topic, the library classes. Now, you are already familiar with the Java API or the library classes, right? In initial lessons, we have discussed that your JDK comprises of API and JVM. We have discussed about API and library classes in previous chapters. So all these library classes, the inbuilt classes or the predefined classes, contain certain useful classes, and those classes contain certain methods. So in order to make use of those methods, we need to know the classes they are present in. Right. So all these predefined methods. See, for example, see the definition part. The Java class library or API is nothing but collection of predefined or inbuilt classes which provides different methods that can be called and used in our programs depending on the requirement. So these classes are developed by the developers and are placed in different packages of Java. So you are already familiar and already making use of certain methods while doing programming. For example, the some of the classes are the predefined classes you know and you have used in programs are math class. In math class, you have many methods like sqrt, pow, etc. Right? There are many such methods. So this math class, which contain these useful methods, is placed in package lang, right? And then there is a system class. System class contains method print and println, which you use in your program, right? Print and println used for displaying the output. So print and println are present in class system, and this system is present in lang package. Then string. String is also a predefined class, contains several methods, which we will be discussing in string handling chapter. That's the next coming up chapter is string handling, where we will be discussing different methods of class string. And then there is a string buffer class. Then you have wrapper classes. So wrapper class is a name given to group of wrapper classes which we will be discussing in detail. So the point here is the Java API or Java library consists of various inbuilt or predefined classes which are placed in different packages. And all those packages together forms API or Java library. Fine. So you can, the hierarchy goes something like this. Java library or API. Java library or API contains group of packages. And what does these packages contain? Group of classes. And these classes contain group of methods. So we are interested in making use of these methods. So we need to know the class it is present in and the package that particular class is present. So all those packages together form API. Fine. So this is how the hierarchy goes. For example, if I say in packages, you have lang package. The default package which is available in Java is java.lang, and java.lang contains all the fundamental classes which are defined here. So whenever you want to use methods of these classes, you can just use them directly in your program. But if you want to use methods of the classes of packages other than lang, for example, you want to use next or next int or next line, which are methods of scanner class. Now scanner class is placed in util package. So whenever you want to use next of the scanner of the util package, you have to explicitly write the import statement import java.util.scanner as the first statement of your program. That is because util is not a default package, whereas lang is the default package. So you can just make use of all these methods, all these methods of the classes of the lang directly. You don't have to write any import statement for using these in your program. Fine. And for all other packages, you have to import them by you writing the import statement as the first statement of your program. Then only you will get an access to the methods of those classes which are placed in the package. Okay, so that was about the library classes and packages. Hope you got that. Just I will also show you the definition of a package. Yeah. So package is nothing but a collection of related classes, thus providing access protection and namespace management. Then now, what do you mean by this is like how you have inbuilt packages, which I just discussed. Like these are the inbuilt packages. Java.io package, you must have used it while accepting data through streams, where you had input stream reader and buffered reader as the two classes. Buffered reader had method read and read line, which was used for accepting char and string respectively. So when you have to accept data through streams, you have to use these classes and you have to import this package in your program. Same way, util contains classes, util contain the class scanner, and scanner contains several methods like next, next int, next line, next float, next double, etc. So whenever you want to accept data through scanner object, you have to import util package. And lang is the default package available to all the Java programs by default. So you don't have to import it. Okay. Now these are inbuilt packages, already created packages for the programmers to use directly. But we can also create a package, the user defined packages using the keyword package. For example, in the beginning of program, if you write package and the package name, any package, any valid identifier, and then start your class. So what happens is your class C1 will get stored in P1. So in the window, you will not see all the icons of your programs. Right now, since we do not use package statement, you will see all the class icons when you open your BlueJ window. But if you create a package, you will see only P1 there. And when you double click that, then it takes you to the window which will show all the classes of package P1. Right. So in some way, it is providing access protection, the advantage, and also the namespace management. Like right now, like when we are doing programming in a lab where many systems are connected to a common server, then all of you cannot give a same name to your program. They may get overlapped. Fine. So if you are creating your own package, then you can have same names for your classes, even if you're connected to the common server, because they are getting stored in different packages. That is the reason there is the second advantage of using a packages. It takes care of namespace, naming confusions and all can be avoided through the use of package. But then uh, practically you don't have to write them in programs, but theoretically you need to know the advantage of having a package, which is access protection and namespace management. Okay, so this was all about library classes and the packages. Fine. So let's go to the next topic. Yeah, next comes wrapper classes. So before going to the definition of wrapper classes, see, as you all know, there are 8 primitive data types, right? And for each primitive data type, there is an associated wrapper class. For byte, it is byte. How do you differentiate a keyword with a wrapper class? See, as per the conventions, all class name begin with capital. You must have seen all the class names like math, system, string, what all we have covered. You will see that the first letter of predefined classes is always capital, right? So conventions are not necessary to follow, but they are followed by professionals. So if you remember the conventions, I'll just repeat. All class name begin with capital letter. Class name starts with caps, and method names begin with, methods start with lowercase, right? And if there are many words in a name, for example, in case of input stream reader, input stream reader is a class. Input stream, I'm just giving you an example. Input stream reader is a class name. And for a method, I'll take it as the familiar one, next line. Next line is a method. Now, as per the convention, what did I say? That all class name begin with capital and all methods begin with small case, right? But if they contain more than one word in it, the first letter of the following word will be capital in both the class names and the method name. So if you remember the conventions, you will not go wrong while using these predefined classes or predefined methods. So just remember the conventions and also try to follow it in your programming. That gives you a more professional, look. So the point is, if you write class name as small, if you start it with small letter, it will work. It is as per the syntax, there is no problem. As the syntax will not say that it has to be capital or small. You can write anything. But as per the conventions, all predefined methods, classes follow the conventions. So just remember those conventions and try to adopt it in your programming also. Okay. So as I told you that all class name begin with capital letter. So these are the wrapper classes. So there are total 8 wrapper classes provided to each of the primitive data type. Okay. And these classes contain some useful methods which we are going to learn in this lesson. Right? Integer, there are 2 methods which we will have in syllabus, and the character wrapper class has around 8 methods which will be very helpful even while doing string handling programs. Okay. So, yeah. Yes. So, what is a wrapper class as per the definition? Wrapper classes are the classes used to wrap variables of primitive data types. It encapsulates the primitive data type into object. Okay. So, just remember that definition of wrapper class. In exam, they may ask you name 2 wrapper classes. So, for example, you know that's very simple, right? It is same as your primitive data type. But in exam, suppose for the example, if you write this, you meant capital, but then you write it like this, or for integer, when you are writing the example as integer, you write it like this. Then you will not be given marks as they are not starting with capital letter. So in section A, we seriously consider the case. So you have to be very careful whenever you are asked to write the class names or the method names. So just remember the conventions and follow them. Okay. So they may ask you write 2 examples of a wrapper class or name the wrapper class containing so and so method and all that. Okay. Fine. So this was all about the wrapper class. Next. Okay. Use of wrapper classes. Okay. So first, let's see the use of wrapper class integer. Okay. Integer, we will have only 2 methods here. In integer wrapper class, we will be discussing 2 of its methods. It contains many methods, but only 2 of the methods are there in your syllabus. toString and parseInt. Some of you must have used parseInt while accepting data through streams. Anyway, we'll revise this. So toString converts accepted argument into string data type, and parseInt converts the accepted argument, which is a string, into an int. Fine. I'll repeat. toString accepts, 1 second. toString accepts the argument, any argument, it could be float, int, double, and converts the accepted argument into string, right? The return type is string for, 1 second, sorry. The return type of toString is a string. Okay, and parseInt accepts string only, accepts a string and converts it into integer. The return type is an int. Okay, so just remember this. toString accepts an argument, could be int, float, double, and converts the accepted argument into string. Whereas parseInt accepts an argument of string type and converts it into an integer. Fine. So let's understand its application through the example. Yeah. Yeah. So try to give me the output of this. Just consider SOPLN as system.out.println and execute this and try to give me the output it displays when the code snippet is executed. Yeah, so there are two examples here, example 1 and example 2 and 2, making use of toString and parseInt. Like parseInt, you have parse double, parse float, which converts accepted argument into respective data type. Now, all the methods of wrapper classes are static in nature. Okay, and you know that static methods are called using class name and dot operator, right? That's why we precede the method with class name and dot operator while calling them, right? This was explained in previous chapters. Just I'm again revising that. Yeah. So just try to get the output for these two examples. Yes, so let's discuss. See, as I told you, toString converts accepted argument into a string, right? Since this toString is in integer wrapper class, we are calling it as integer.toString. So it will convert A is 5, an integer, to a string S1. So what happens is S1 will become this, your 5, the integer 5 gets converted into a string by the use of toString function. Similarly, double dot toString again converts the accepted argument into a string. Fine, so this will also become a string. And then what you are doing here, SOPLN S1 plus A. So S1 is your string plus A. A is a character. Now both are incompatible. Both the values are incompatible to each other. So plus will not add them. Plus will not act like an addition operator, but acts like a join operator. Thus joins both the values and the answer you get is 5A. Now applying same concept, here you will get it as 5.5A. Okay, because string plus any other data type, they are incompatible, so plus will just join them and give you the output as shown there. Okay, hope the first one is clear. Let's come to the second one. Here, parseInt method converts an accepted string into an integer. So your x value will become 10, the integer 10. Okay, it was a string because it is within double quotes. So parseInt function converts a string to an integer. So 10 plus a. Now these two are compatible to each other. 10 plus a. So here, since the data is compatible, plus will act like a addition operator and it will add them up. Now capital A gets converted to its ASCII value, which is 65. So 10 plus 65 becomes 75. So your answer will be 75 for the first one. And here, yeah, double dot, yeah, parse double converts S into a double value. So this will be 10.0 plus 2. So the answer will be 12.0, right? Here, both the values are compatible, double and int. So plus will add them up, giving you the answer 12.0. So such kind of questions will be asked in section A of your computer application board paper. Okay. So with this, we stop here and we'll continue with the character wrapper class and auto boxing and unboxing in the next lecture. Okay, children, thank you so much.